Welcome back. Ludwig Drums is an iconic brand. They even have described themselves at the most famous name on drums. And those famous drums are built just down the road in Monroe. They gave our Brian Stephenson a behind-the-scenes look inside the plant and told him about how one music legend changed the company forever. It's our latest installment of Made in the Carolinas.
Ludwig is characterized with having a very rich sound to it. And it's given us a lot of our popularity for many decades.
Ludwig started in Chicago in 1909, but in 1984 they moved to Monroe to be near the craftsmen of the furniture industry. The company makes all types of drums, from concert to marching bands. They're probably most known, though, for their drum kits. They have a wall of signatures from artists who use their drums, some names you might recognize, like Alex Van Halen, Questlove, and yes, even Weird Al Yankovic's drummer plays Ludwig drums. But one artist changed the company forever during this iconic moment in 1964 when Ringo Star of the Beatles played his Ludwig drums on The Ed Sullivan Show.
That very next day, Ludwig had an influx of orders that within a matter of days they had to go from being a one-shift operation to a three-shift operation.
As I buy this kit, the guy goes to rip off the Ludwig sign. I said, no, you gotta leave that on. It's American. And that's how it became famous.
Ringo's drums and every other drummer who orders a kit are built the same way. They start out as boards, which are cut down to just the right thickness. Then they are placed in a temperature-controlled room that prepares the wood to be molded into drum shells. The next stop is a very historical part of the process, the drum molds.
They come from our old Chicago factory, so they've produced drums for countless of iconic drummers over the years. We essentially have an air bladder coming down into the mold to exert pressure on the different panels so that they are gluing evenly from top to bottom, pressed up against each other as we're laminating them. But within that same mold, we have copper strips running through those air bladders, and those are heating the inside of the shell, and it's basically sort of a rapid cure process.
The drum shells then have an edge cut into them before going through lots and lots and lots of sanding.
A ton of handwork to get things very detailed, very specific, and very precise.
The drums then go to the paint room. Some just get a lacquer finish, while others are given vibrant colors. But one of the more popular finishes is the wrap. And that's where one of the most well-known people at Ludwig comes into the picture.
Miss Ann Ross is one of our prized talents down here. She's been wrapping drums for a little over 3 decades now. And she's just a real pro when it comes down to that stuff. That is a process that you really need to get very detail-oriented with.
Still to this day, the most popular wrap she puts on is the Black Pearl Ringo Star wrap from 1964. The drums are almost complete, just a few more steps to go. Holes are drilled so the hardware can be applied. Then the drum is polished like a luxury sports car.
We look at every little fine detail on this drum to make sure that it has the appropriate chain. There's no cloudiness to the finish, there's no scratches. We just want every drummer that gets our product and opens that box to just really have an out-of-this-world experience and be really proud to own a drum manufactured here in North Carolina.
The final piece of the puzzle involves that familiar logo.
The badging process is kind of the cherry on top, right? It's a very appreciated emblem of the brand.
This one's ready to go in the bag.
Only then do the drums get one last check before being wrapped up and shipped out.
You see the birth of a drum take place here under our roof.
Who knows? Maybe they're heading to the next Ringo Star. In Monroe, I'm Brian Stephenson for QC Morning.
That's cool. That's really cool. I've always really wondered that. I mean, there's such beautiful works of art when you really stop and look at a drum set, and that's pretty amazing. That's right in our backyard.